60.28 million square kilometers, India is the seventh largest country in the world in terms of area, spanning from mountains and valleys in the north to a peninsula down south. Now imagine a road trip across the various landscapes, people and cultures that dot our country. Well, that's exactly what we embarked on with Mahindra Adventure in the monsoon month of July. Welcome to Kashmir. We're at Nagin Lake, Srinagar, at the start of Mahindra Adventure's maiden voyage across the length of the country, starting here all the way down to Kanyakumari in the south. It's going to be a 16-day-long adventure, and there's going to be a lot of fun coming up. We were only going to be a part of it for 3 days, up to Amritsar, but we were going to make the most of that time. Although we were to start out on a Sunday morning and drive to Jammu, political strife and civilian protests had rocked the state in recent days, and it was impossible for us, a convoy of around 20 cars, to use the roads in broad daylight. So instead, we left in the dead of night to avoid any unrest. The new course of action would be to leave behind the trouble-torn state and go all the way to Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh. It's about 5 in the morning, and we've just finished our first stop since leaving Srinagar last night at midnight. We've got another 350 to 400 kilometers left to Dharamshala, and it should take us another 10 hours.
Just give you a stop, guys. We're going to hit the mountains for a considerable amount of time.
Finally, once daylight broke, we all got to take a look at the grandeur of Kashmir Valley. Although our view was a little obscured by clouds, the security daylight brought with it allowed everyone to speed up a little. As we entered Punjab, with the change in scenery came a change in roads, from narrow and twisty mountain roads to arrow straight, four-lane highways. The less experienced drivers in the convoy breathed a sigh of relief, and progress got faster and relatively easier. Thankfully, for the professional drivers among us, the four-laners didn't last long, as we entered Himachal and began our ascent to Dharamshala. The lovely twisties went oh so well with the lush greenery of the lower Himalayas. Towards the end of the harrowing drive, the climb got very steep, and to make matters interesting, dense fog reduced visibility to just about 50 meters. But we soldiered on. Fog lamps and headlights switched on. And finally, we are here in Dharamshala. Nearly 17 hours after leaving Srinagar and having driven across 500 kilometers of hilly terrain, we've come all the way from Kashmir Valley to the cloudy upper reaches of Himachal Pradesh. The first day of the drive had been a long and arduous one, and everyone went to bed pretty early. Next stop, Amritsar. Next morning, we made our way to Amritsar via Pathankot. Our destination was the Wagah border, where we would witness the celebrated change of guard ceremony. Even with a lunch stop and break for photography, we did manage to make it by 4 p.m. The scene of the border was uber patriotic, soldiers marching to the drumbeat and trying to one-up those on the neighboring nation side. Of course, we made sure we were at our patriotic best. After that, Amritsar was just a few kilometers ahead, which we reached in about an hour. Autocar India's leg of the Kashmir to Kanyakumari drive was done, and it was time to bid farewell.